In the NBA, spectators frequently find themselves wondering, what happened? There are a variety of reasons why clubs may drop in the rankings. Players get hurt, they get traded, and they retire. Many clubs even have a run of bad luck for several seasons in a row. Furthermore, regardless of whether a club wins a title the season prior, any team can fall apart at any time. So these are the truth reasons why these three NBA teams will struggle in 2022. At number 3, the Houston Rockets. The Rockets were last in a favorable position during the 2019-2020 season, where they finished 4th in the Western Conference. The following season, James Harden was sent to the Nets. The Rockets are now on track to repeat their season from last year, when they finished 15th in the West with a record of 17-55. The Rockets, though, have not given up hope. They have a chance to reclaim their relevance next season. The main reason for this is that Houston has 2 picks in the forthcoming NBA draft in 2022. Because the Rockets will be in a favorable position in the draft, they will have a decent opportunity of acquiring at least one of the best players. Chet Holmgren, Jabari Smith, and Paulo Banchero are 3 prospects mentioned by Ben Dubose of Rockets Wire. If the Rockets opt to sign any of these players, it would be a significant step forward. Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood, Alperen Sengun, Josh Christopher, and Jae'Sean Tate are just a few players on their roster who are under the age of 26. Aside from Wood, all of these players have been in the NBA for 5 years or less. However, it takes time to construct a new team, and if the Rockets pick well, there's little doubt that they'll be back on top shortly. At number 2, the Portland Trail Blazers. The Portland Trail Blazers finished 3rd in the Western Conference in 2017 through 2018. They've steadily faded away since then. They were 3rd in the Western Conference in 2018 and 2019. They finished 8th in the West in 2020. They finished 6th in the West in 2021 and 11th in 2021 through 2022. Yikes. So what became of the Trailblazers? Sure, they lost CJ McCollum, who was dealt to the Pelicans this season, but he was still there last year. Damian Lillard's play has been a key part of it this year. He was having one of his worst seasons to date when he was injured. While this may explain why they're so down this season, it does not explain why they fell off in the first place. Before the aforementioned 2017 through 2018 season and this year, there were further seasons. If the Blazers aren't winning, perhaps it's time for a change. Having said that, they could simply be going through a difficult period. In 2019, the Warriors experienced this. They fell in 6 games to the Toronto Raptors in the finals. The Warriors then finished 15th in the West the following year. They were overly reliant on Stephen Curry, who was injured. The Trailblazers became overly reliant on Lillard, and now that McCollum is gone, Lillard's life will be even more difficult without his partner at his side. When it comes down to it, Portland may be due for a change. And at number 1, the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks hadn't made the playoffs in 7 years. Last year, they finally achieved their aim, but they were eliminated in the first round. The Knicks finished 15th in the 2014 through 2015 season, and after then, they never finished in the top 10 in the East for the next 6 years. That streak came to an end when they made the playoffs last year. A fascinating fact to consider is that in the last 20 years, New York has had 12 different head coaches. Having so many different coaches on a team can be annoying, as it can be difficult to acquire a new coaching approach every other season. But that's not the only issue. The issue for this team is simple coaching. Tom Thibodeau has struck with roughly the same starting lineups all season, and New York's defense has fallen off a cliff. If the Knicks are to be successful, they must buckle down and focus on defense. They also must abandon whatever isn't working. Despite the fact that they were just in the playoffs last year, it's evident that additional adjustments are needed in New York. Well guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. See you all next time.